Yeah, so the main reason ukuthi sisuke eNquthu was because the time I was very active in the community. Even today, he's still active. Benoni Crystal Park, he's a community builder nje by nature. Umuntu abantu time. So naseNquthu bekumuntu onjalo, and they decided to open a stronghold, say ANC. Okay. In a time where IFP be ruler eNquthu and kunzima nje abantu be-IFP bavula i-stronghold se-ANC. Hayi abantu be-IFP abazange bayithande leyo nto leyo, which wagcina kuhlaselwa omunye bekasebenza nalo time uChief Mulive. Yabona and kwathiwa hayi abakwangwenya next. Hayi yila sa decide ukuthi kuyasukwa eNewcastle eNquthu manje.
Good day and welcome to Sports Geek with Sbonelo Ngcobo, and on today's show I am not flying solo. I do have the co-pilot in the form and shape of
Lebu Ditlhake.
Oh yes, I definitely do have a co-pilot. This time around, I had been flying solo all along, but I decided to taking this Bong, this jet, the one that I'm trying to pilot. It's too big for me. Extra pair of hands won't hurt. So hence, I've gone on and acquired the services of Insizwa Ulebo Ditlhake that will be co-piloting this show with going forward. Talking of Ditlhake, don't forget that today's show is proudly brought to you by Ditlhake Construction and Plant Hire. So as Ditlhake cash loans. Hey, Mago blind. You know exactly what to do. Get in touch with Labana Bonabo Ditlhake Cash Loans. They are the ones that are powering today's show. You can always get in touch with them on 073-956-8647. 073-956-8647. I'm sure you know that really by now. Online. Just go and press the subscribe button as well as the like button. And more importantly, don't forget to press that share button. Like they always say, the more the merrier. Share the word our alande evangeli bagwethu sawulaphana eSports Geek. One day umndeni wawulaphana eSports Geek with Sbonelo Ngcobo and Lebo Ditlhake going forward. And as always here on Sports Geek in Joburg, we look at different sporting codes, and today's show is definitely no exception. This time around we look at football. We are honored to have a very, very well-traveled guest. He played for Wits University. Yes, you heard me right. I deliberately didn't say Bidvest Wits. I said Wits University. The mighty, clever boys. Yakdala Wits University. Later is Baku. Every is Baku Lapan was make sure my score 1-0. Lapan is a defender. You will chase that 1-0 till the 90th minute without getting the equalizer. He played for Wits University. My clever boys. Wasuga Lapana Lapana style. Lapano Makapuna Sala. The mighty Sundowns, abafana base Ngcobo, abafana baka Patrice Motsepe. Was the chief? That was not enough. What I said to Wits King, I'm say one band mina. Ngine passport, bangithanda, cross the border. Ngiyengale beyond the South African borders, and then he went lapana up north, while lapana eBotswana, nakhona simthole lapana ukwagijima lapana kwiqembu elaziwa ngokuthi iTownship Royals. Sathi sangabaza lokho, waphinda wathi yazini. Mina mangithanda ngangena ebukhosini bakwaZulu Natal and just have some relationship with some royal blood. Ngalo ndlela sambona lapha egijimela iqembu lakhona lapha kwaZulu Natal, Thanda Royal Zulu. Hence I said we are blessed in the studio today to have a very, very well-traveled guest in the form and shape of Manqoba Shakes Ngwenya. Butisa njani?
Sikhona njani na baba?
Sikhona baba, sikhona.
Sibonge baba for the invitation to be on this podcast. I'm humbled to be here.
About it, city is humble, especially today. What happened to you? I believe namanje ufike we show usogijima usuke ePitori kanti kukhonto osihlanganisayo, but because of your respect and your discipline and everything, you made it on time. Asiphenikanga kangako. Just sibonga kakhulu sila si Sports Geek with Sbonelo Ngcobo and Lebo Ditlhake. That commitment kunje hey angazi amathikithi owacollectile endleleni njengoba usegijima angazi whom are you going to invoice for those traffic fines like what endleleni good luck
Oh, so
yeah let's
Lebza. Ngiyakubona lapha yana Lebza ukhona lapha kuma cash loans hayi uzayithola invoice.
Exactly. Abantu bahlala bodinga cash. So mayisifika lapha ama traffic fines lawa collected on your way here. Look no further, you know exactly where to go. And without any further ado, let's cut down there to the chase. Lapana Manqoba, for the benefit of our viewers, ongenzeka ukuthi mhlambe ndlela thize but okay Manqoba Ngwenya, Shakes, okay that sounds familiar. Akusitshene nje laphana kancane just nje umlando omncane laphana ukuthi uManqoba Ngwenya where was he born and bred wazalwa koNongoma or eThabazimbi or eThohoyando or something uManqoba Ngwenya ukhulele uzalwe kuphi akhulela kuphi?
Yeah, it's always an interesting question Puti ngoba to be honest I didn't stay in Soweto but I was born in Soweto.
Okay.
So it always becomes tricky mangibuzwa ukuthi where was Shakes wakho uyabona. So I was born in Meadowlands, Soweto. My father is from Soweto and my mother as well from Edube. So born in Soweto but lived most of my life in Natal. Let me say my school daying times mostly in Natal. Ngakhulela in Natal in the Midlands.
Whereabouts in Natal?
In the Midlands of KwaZulu Natal, eNquthu.
Okay, abaqulu ofryhead abasabaqulu mangicabanga
yebo lapho ngase Fryhead ngaseDandi.
eDandi I believe masipala khona umzinyathi umzinyathi local municipality
yes ngangiphila lapha nenyanga enkulu
so
So but namanje wena Shego do you still ufika lapha yana or now usendo fire?
No, Soweto nginokushaya around because abomagogo bakhona Soweto esi double J ngithi ngathi abomagogo bakhona sewashona umagogo but my uncle is still there kusasekhaya eCentral Western Jabavu eSoweto so sisaya ekhaya no aunt wami ukhona ePhefeni so I've got a lot of family who is still in Soweto so sisayishaya around ekhaya eSoweto eNquthu ke akusena muntu ugogo wayene store khona which made us ukuthi sigcine sesiyohlala khona ugogo wayene shop nje eNquthu kodwa be based in Newcastle eMadadeni.
Okay.
Yeah, so the main reason ukuthi sisuke eNquthu was because the time I was very active in the community. Even today, he's still active. Benoni Crystal Park, he's a community builder by nature. Umuntu abantu time. So naseNquthu bekumuntu onjalo, and they decided to open a stronghold, say ANC.
Okay.
In a time where IFP be ruler eNquthu and kunzima nje abantu beIFP bavula istronghold seANC hayi abantu beIFP abazange bayithande leyo nto leyo which wagcina kuhlaselwa omunye bekasebenza nali time uChief Mulive yabona ene kwathiwa hayi abakwangwenya next hayi yila sa decide ukuthi kuyasuka eNewcastle eNquthu manje.
Ngihambela kuphi manje?
Moving to from eNquthu we moving to Johannesburg now.
Oh yes.
Safika sahlala ku aunt wami for a couple of days eBinoni eFaramay.
Okay.
Yeah, and then lapho sekufuniwa indlu ke ukuthi sizohlala laphi sagcina sihlala vele eduze nabo aunt bami eCrystal Park.
Okay.
East Rand, yes. So there's a lot of people who also think I'm from Davidton. Yabo ngoba sengihlala isikhathi eside around the East Rand. Yabo, but that's how it came about ukuthi ngifike ngibe se-East Rand. You know, ekhaya there's a lot of political background. Umalume oza before umamami uSphiwe Nyanda.
Ngwenya,
who
yes,
was
yeah,
the general.
yes, okay.
Yes.
Umalume wakho?
Yeah, but it's my uncle.
Hey, wonder.
Shego.
Hey, you're sorted.
there's
Yeah,
a
come
lot,
on.
there's
Yeah, so I come from that background. So, but yeah, that's what gave me breakthrough. Ukuthi ngibe ngapha eJohannesburg. Ngoba a lot of talent is gone unseen that
Exactly.
side, you know.
Yes, mawuse
because
endaweni,
nobody is looking at you, yabona. So coming to Johannesburg, it gave me a breakthrough to join a team. In fact, the first team I ever joined was Wits. I always played schools football, you know, and provincial football. I played provincially for Natal from the age of 10 to the age of 14, together with Dylan Shepherd, Gareth Omshaw. We played for one team.
Gareth Omshaw was the defender Amazulu.
Yes, yes.
First player, number 4 Amazulu.
Yes. And then Dale Studinsky as well is another Natal boy, Banana boy. We were together from an early age. So
A KZN.
A KZN, yeah. I was the only darkie there in that team. They were
lama team lawo fana nabo Highlands Park le ugcwala amangamula kuphela.
Yes,
So kutsho kahle kahle awukaze wafika epoqweni with those ages.
No, with those ages, I bengidlala etshanini mina ngijwayele icarpet awuyipuqa ngidlala manje nje sengidlala ama masters nani but I really enjoy playing yabona sibiza nge clay court yabona so ukuthi
Roland Garros
I enjoy it ngoba indoda yashibirika lapha yana mothi body wave indoda yashibirika. And we enjoy watching clay football, you know. December, there's a lot of skill factor, so we enjoy that, yeah.
So, Samantha, about Dylan Shepherd, where were you guys based? Maritzburg or eThekwini exactly?
So, mina ngisho bengise Newcastle,
Yes.
so I was in the Northern Natal.
Northern
so we
Natal,
needed
yes.
to, if you are in Northern Natal, you need basically trials now for a Natal team.
Oh, Natal team.
Yeah, so you get selected first for Northern Natal. And then you have to go to Durban for Natal. Yeah, so I used to travel all the time and go to Natal for Lauma trials.
But yes, there's something that is very amazing la ne. Umshego akakaze adlale epoqweni at that age. Kodwa manje because Dina we take it ukuthi kumele uqale ku one palo. We understand the fundamentals. Uyazi ukudribble ukushaya umuntu ngevalo. So much less skill less akutsho are you a natural.
Yeah, you know what? A lot of people are surprised ukuthi how Shakes akhulela ngelokishini ngale skill yabona skill factor. But to be honest, no, I didn't angizange ngidlale elokishini. I loved the ball so much, you know, for as far as I can remember, I had a football, because well in a timer, had a football team, timer like Amalake was star today because he was a star in football.
Yes.
My grandfather used to play as well. He was also a star in football, in sports as a whole, you know, he did karate and so. Into sports is in the genes. Ekhaya iqali ngami my uncle gama lakhe uPele ngoba naye bekathwembe lokishini bayamazi established wethu yathwembu kakhulu the skill factor as well yabo so ayiqali ngami into yebhola ekhaya ndayigcini ngami because already my nephew is at Pirates intwana yami iyadlala ku Highlands ku Highlands Park yeah so just nje ibhola into yasekhaya. My son is 17 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, and we were just giving him all the support ukuthi adlale and then we will see where he can take us, you know. But no pressure on him.
So manje in position wise inyawo ladlala ngalo.
So no, he's not left-footed. He's right-footed, but he's doing well, you know. He's scoring goals and he's been playing different positions, which is good as a youngster to adapt to different positions. Currently, he's playing on the right wing for Highlands under 17, and he's been doing well. We're giving him support, and let's see where he goes with his talent.
Because the pressure when us born.
He has to live up. He has to live up, yeah.
They're looking at you good end of the magic.
Donna
Shakes.
Shakes. And it's like so expected. Moment, Jobete Nentuan, I already concluded. He's also left-footed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Umtanak is not left-footed. Or saying, okay.
Yeah,
And
no.
right-footed. Donna Shakes, it doesn't add up. Yeah, the pressure that comes with it. But still with the pressure that comes with the living up to Iloko's Ikam. Then tell us your Wits University breakthrough. How did it come about? When a clever boys.
Yeah, like I mentioned before, Uti breakthrough started with me coming to Johannesburg,
Yes.
And then when I came to Johannesburg, then I started now going to my trials, I remember I started my trials as a School of Excellence.
Yes.
When it was still Neil Tovey's School of Excellence.
Yes.
Or SLM Park.
SLN Park, yes. Abo Sipho.
In
Yeah,
Woodlands.
they were there.
Yeah.
Stephen Pienaar were there.
Stephen Pienaar, those
were
guys were there, And then here I come, this tall guy. Ambheka phansi phezulu already sebangiyatsile lapha bathi lo akekho mnandi
Akayibambi lokuyibamba.
ngayibambi nokuyibamba nje babakubheka bathi hayi le ayikho mnandi yabona.
Sure.
So through these trials, man, there was always 10,000 people.
Yes, that's
You get a chance for 10 minutes to play, and what you do is you pass the ball, and then you hardly get it anymore.
Yeah, I know.
So I don't think it was the best way of doing trials. So I did those trials. I didn't pass School of Excellence. I went to Chiefs. I went to Kaiser Chiefs also. It was the same thing, about 10,000 people. You get 10 minutes, you pass the ball, you don't get it anymore. They don't really see what you have, Lo mhlamba bazombona izothi makalibamba yenza izinto zakhe mhlamba angaphasi umuntu, but thina ke football zazi ukuthi kumele ushare, yabona.
Yeah.
So even at Chiefs I didn't pass the trials, and then I didn't give up, Timer was always there supporting me also. I have to mention, throughout my development, even when we were Natal playing Lama games, we used to go to Bloemfontein. My family was always there supportive, which is so important. That support, because some kids who are even more talented than me, they end up giving up because they don't get the support.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So definitely I have to thank my family, my parents, my dad especially for the support that he showed me throughout my career. So he was there as well when we went to Wits trials. Now that time trying out Guma trials, corner thousands of people are there, and you get the 10 minutes or so. Don't get selected
Go Wits now.
at Wits.
How old
But
were you
then 16, 17, around that age. But then there was a coach by the name of Alan Fries who now brother Howard Fries, yes, who was there. I think now he was with Rulani Mukwena in Egypt now, in Morocco with Wydad. So that gentleman, he called me and he said, you know what, don't give up. Maybe, I don't know whether he saw the passion or what he saw in me, or he saw those few touches that I had. And he said,
Where was he at that time?
He was at Wits. He
At
was
Wits,
at Wits.
okay.
Yeah, he was
Okay.
at Wits Juniors, at the development juniors. So he told me, no, don't give up. Come to under 17 B team. Come and train with the under 17 B team, which I did then. My dad again from Pinoni, taking me to training to under 17 B team. I think within 2-3 weeks, I realized, Raman, you've got something.
This is a gem.
Don't blind you.
This is a gem.
Don't
He's got
blind.
something.
Gem.
Let's take him to under 17
18.
A team now. Under 17 A team. I played there. I think it was for about a season or so, and the under 17 team was going to a world tournament, a club tournament in the USA, and the players who were supposed to go there were the players who were there previously, the previous years, and I was new.
Okay.
But because time alami umuntu okrevulayo
Hustler.
yeah, time alami the mas gym lapha njalo is always with the guys there.
Yeah, network.
Ya network laphayana namangamla laphayana wathi I know. Hayi ngawari. Ntwana yami nawo uzovaya. Yabo. And for
What a
sure.
great father that one is.
And for sure wakrevula ngagcina nami singing in this team yabo USA for this tournament and go to the tournament. I take the top goal scorer.
Wow.
I'm the player of that tournament.
Yeah, go USA.
USA, yeah.
Cabanga.
So now
And on the 11th hour,
on the
you were
11th.
not even supposed to. You were not on the original plans.
exactly.
Yo.
Yeah, man. So we come back to South Africa, and a couple of months later, I get a first team contract from a gentleman by the name of Derek Blakency, who is now, I think, he's. I'm not sure if he's still but I think he's at Pirates now. Derek Blakency. Yeah, he said, "No, I'm signing you to the first team.
Go Wits
Believe in
University."
your talent." Yeah, go Wits University, and that was one of the greatest days of my life because my dream was always to be a professional footballer, and finally I had achieved that.
So, but usaseskela mo signing.
Saseskela ngaleso sikhathi I'm doing matric and I get a first team contract manje sengikwazi ukukhera manje
Ufunda aphi that time?
sengimnandi ngifunda eSprings ngifunda eSprings ngaleso sikhathi so I'm taking the train going to training at Jozi, coming back ebusuku sometimes yabona sometimes when the time ali available liyasivayisa ke or sagcina sesivaya namajita amanye amajita aseDaveyton nawo adlala kuVets yabona khona ukuthi asize ngepetrol ukuthi time alisivayise njalo.
Sure, that was
But
great.
kule professional contract that you get une 18, they were limiting you ngemali okanye you were getting a normal one. You're signing on fee with pamper.
Yeah, no, I signing on fee angikhumbuli ngithola at Wits, you know, but I remember my first contract it was 999 exactly, and for me that was too much money, man.
Sure.
17 years.
17
Exactly.
years. Yabona,
And
No
that was
responsibilities.
And which
no
year was that?
responsibilities. Whew, jeez.
1999 or something.
I was 18, 17.
17.
Yeah, so I don't know, you do the math there. Yeah, but yeah, I was having fun that time. No responsibilities. Singing as Kerala is Gela, you know.
Nandi.
Whereas when I care is Gela, I could take myself to training sometimes, you know. So yeah.
So lapho Wits at university at that time, coach your first team, who was it?
John Lathan was the coach. But when I started playing, Roger Tissa was the coach.
first team.
Yeah, the first team. Yes, Roger Tissa was the coach there.
So yeah, that opportunity,
Yeah,
that free role, that breakthrough, that everything.
He gave me the breakthrough. He gave me my debut, which was against Sundowns, surprisingly. I remember walking in and here's Roger Futuma. Oh my God, I was shaking.
Room divider.
I was shaking. Yes, this guy I don't pay was so.
Kamos go size 12, yami
Was size
boots
12. Funny enough, he remembers that moment. Yeah, I remember that. Hey,
Roger Futuma.
Yeah, he remembers that, and he said he couldn't believe this guy is taller than him.
So height-wise, when umdlula nge-height.
Yeah, I mean, height for Roger. But obviously, he was
big.
He was tougher and bigger, yeah.
So manje lapha esuswini manje ground ini khambani.
Hey, no, first game I was very nervous. I was shaking, man, and everybody. I think we were leading 2-0. Sam Khalifa ashaye 2 goals for us, so we were beating Sundowns 2-0. Mangena mina hayi wonke umuntu to shakes ungenile ushakes manje and it's fresh. Hey, I think 1-2 runs I was shaking, I was nervous, I was tired. I felt like I was tired more than anybody else. I felt like I was lifting somebody on my shoulders. You know, ngitatazela, yeah. So yeah. it was great to get a debut against a big team like
Was it
Sundowns,
home game or away game?
against my idols. It was a home game in Mill Park
Mill
on a
Park.
Friday night game, you know.
And you guys say, hey, nanibulala vele ngama Friday night game. You
don't come back. Awungeke ubuye.
No khama lapha ebusuku.
So how did you contain yourself manje kule pressure ukuyo and then you should be calm and then be
you know, I just tried to keep it simple, you know, but I don't know if it worked. No, my debut was not the best of debuts, you know, but obviously, you know, when you come into a new environment like that and you are facing your idols which you've been watching on TV and idolizing, it's only normal that you'll be nervous. But then as time went by, I realized, which, you know what, I'm here because I'm a good player. I need to believe in myself and control myself when I'm in that field and know that I'm part of these stars that are here.
You belong here.
Yeah, I belong here.
And then next game,
next game, yeah, ngabe sengithola chance. But the real breakthrough in my career, I think, if it's being a camp, no camp, when we are playing at home. You know, we camp only maybe when we are playing away because we need to travel the day before. But when we were playing at home, camp, we'd come in the following morning, the day of the game in the morning, have your pre-match meal, and then get ready for the game. So, angikhe and then I don't know, something happens, somebody is sick or something, I get called
18.
In the 18th. That morning I get called ukuthi kumele ngibe seteamini. And boom, straight in the starting lineup. Roger Tisa.
From outside 18 area, 18 to list to top 11.
Yeah, straight in the starting lineup. We are playing Moroka Swallows Rand Stadium. And
Botutulup.
Yeah, Botutulup.
Botutulup.
So in that game, yeah, that's when now I made my mark in South African football. I scored a brace and now I knew it's okay.
From nowhere, I don't have 18.
18. I ngashaya 2 goals. And that was the beginning now of Shakes.
Sure, that's a great
And
story.
it's natural talent.
Especially considering Guti, I mean, I would say you were not prepared.
Yeah.
Because manga ku 18, if umuntu otshwala uyakwazi
Yeah.
uyiphuzela angiku 18 uyigruvela namajita. I mean, it's keep boys holiday for when.
Let me just say, I remember which it was not an early night than previous nights, to be honest.
You were out
But I was not going to tell the coach that I did not have an early night.
But you still managed.
I tell him, but I still managed to score 2 goals. I remember
And you
I was
announced your arrival
suffering. I was
instant.
suffering after the game from the fitness levels, you know, of playing at a high level like that. But I scored the 2 goals, and that's what matters.
And then you became this big household name now, Shakes Ngwenya ufikile. And then i-pressure ke nje elokishini nakhona kwi-events like usinyazi ukuthi how packed i-Mill Park ngama Fridays because ngangiwattend ama games lapha. The pressure, the attendance, the everything, the attention that came with that.
Yeah, I would say, man, as compared to other teams like both Sundowns, Pirates, Chiefs, you know, Wits, you didn't have that much pressure. Yes, it was pressure because there were always supporters, you know, but it's not like Chiefs and Pirates and Sundowns demanding, you know. So I got used to that environment and that type of support, you know. So I felt comfortable playing for Wits, you know, and it was almost like a home environment, you know. I felt at home playing at Mill Park, and I got used to it, and
Njengoba ususho laphana ekwevethu ukuthi beningakemp and wena vele njengoba usuke washo futhi ukuthi bodlela most of the time ama clubs abongamla ngathini if you can allow me to say snobbish clubs not your typical township clubs so budlala lapha so I guess na kwivethu indaba zama camps zemithi zonke lezo zinto sazinge into ezazingangenwa lezo
hayi lapha yana
abongamla lapha
azange sibe nalokho evets cha bekingekho lokho ke indaba zemithi nama-rituals before i-game.
Nothing.
We just used to see it mhlambe mase siyodlala nabo-Cosmos. Yashunqa intuthu ngale, ku-change room engale. Yashunqa intuthu ngale, yabo. But thina at Wits, no, I'd be lying, Shem. We didn't have those rituals. We had George Mkhotsi who used to pray for us before the game,
Yes.
Yeah, and then yeah, no.
Ningene bagwinyi club.
Yeah, singene sibagwinye nje, hlala nje, sithi set piece net, yeah.
And then I believe in 2003, I believe then that a big Mamelodi Sundowns breakthrough happened. How did your Mamelodi Sundowns move come about?
Yeah, so I had established myself at Wits, I became a household name.
Absolutely.
Every time when they spoke about Wits or in the media, I would be the picture boy, So I was I became now almost like a star of Wits or
the face,
or the poster
Wits.
boy.
Yes.
Yeah, Wits, and always made sure that when we were playing big teams like Chiefs and Pirates, I would score or I would make a great mark because I know now everybody's watching us. When you're playing for a team like Wits and you're playing against Chiefs, you want to make sure that
They
you
work feel.
because everybody's watching this
Sure.
game.
Oh,
you know,
surely,
and
surely.
Shy Chiefs, that's look.
Who's this boy?
Bazogcwala Bulali Chiefs, umsheke, yabona. So you always gave your best when you're playing in games like that. You know? And it just so happened that the club president Patrice, when he bought
Patrice
Sundowns, I was one of the targets that he was looking at, and he came to a game where we were playing in Orkney against Kaizer Chiefs.
Okay, that's Northwest. West.
Yeah, Northwest.
Northwest.
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer,
The stadium.
Yes, that one. So he came and watched that game. And
So Patrice Motsepe came all the way to come and watch you.
Yes.
Wits.
yes.
I'm sure he was busy preparing himself to play.
Yeah.
It was Ngabo Natasha, ne?
Yeah.
Still the
So
Croc,
he
the
took
Croc
over
cafe.
from the Abu Natasha chick class, and then he came to watch that game. So I don't think he completely took over 100% at that time.
Yeah, he
Even
took
Abu Natasha
51%.
chick class was still there.
Yeah, 51 to
But
2003.
he came to watch that game, and then the rest was history after that. Yeah, I was getting calls from Mambush. I was getting calls from Peter Kotrolis or my son. We want you here. And everything just went smoothly because Wits also were happy to let me go because the money was good in which Sundowns was signing me at, And yeah, that's how I made my dream move to Sundowns, which was a team that I really admired and liked, Vele, because of the style of play. I always
absolutely.
believed in the shoe shine and piano that Screamer came with, and I believed that my talent would even show more playing with the superstars that were there.
Because at some point, ngikhumbula the time uShake was signing the Sundowns. Indoda kubamba inhliziyo ngithi wena indoda engayikunaturel.
Natural.
Wenzani?
And he was also a little bit of a Chiefs material.
Exactly. And bemfunda ngapha it was
because
ibhedlela ukuthi nayi kuyazi Mosimane maseqala ibathi rumors iqala ukuthi no rumors iPirates Sundowns Chiefs. Oh, and then yesterday the man now usignile une Sundowns inhliziyo mabisire. Yebo.
Sure, all Chiefs they never brought any offer because I remember the rumors were there. Ukuthi Chiefs wanted to sign you. So was it just outside the boardroom?
No, in the beginning the team that really wanted me was Sundowns in the beginning. So Chiefs at a later stage when I was at Sundowns, they showed interest
Also with Sundowns.
Yeah, Sengu Sundowns, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what happened? You went out.
The club president said I must forget about it.
So Motsepe said you're not going to Chiefs.
That's gonna happen.
Sure. And you stayed go Mamelodi Sundowns, I believe, as 7 years. Mamelodi Sundowns. Surely you are regarded as one of our legends. Lapha njengoba ngisho kulo 7 years, ama coaches, I'm sure they came and went. siyayisizwe itori estradini ukuthi ay le coach le isabotage ama players akazwani nobani bani ama players amsabotage. In that almost 7 years ukwi Sundowns, was there any coach ebenizwe ay le coach le ayisikhulumela ihlathi le ayisiyamdlisa ayisiyamvayisa lo?
Yeah, no, in my time at Sundowns, there's a lot of coaches. Also, a lot of quality coaches, you know, from Europe. A lot of experienced coaches who coached in the biggest teams in Africa. Oscar Fuloni,
yes,
you know, Antonio Habas, Stoichkov, uyeke lo isizokhuluma So Stoichkov, you know, Stoichkov was one of the best players in the world. He won a Ballon d'Or at some stage in his career, you know. So when he came to Sundowns to coach, he had that ego, that arrogance. Yeah, he's that type of person, you know. And he came there with Antonio Habas, you know. So yabona mothola ithenda bese uthola abantu abazokusiza ukuthi yabona una CIDB wena
yakusabisa
claro. So it was that type of thing. Hey man, lo muntu lo, as much as he had so much quality, you know, you could see it even when at training, you could see the quality that came from his left foot. This man, that's why he's the best. But yeah, that arrogance, man, you know, and the way he used to talk to us sometimes, the way he used to carry himself, and at the end of the day, because we always wanted to win, because it also reflects bad on us, just because we want the coach to go. But the club president, the chairman, Patrice, was somebody who loved the players, you know, and always, the problem, he used to see so we would tell him, and then so yeah, wahamba kanjalo Stoichkov ke ngoba manje uyadelela.
So vele yona ikhona leyo nto ukuthi coach mina that arrogance ama players vele.
Of course.
Azokuthesha.
Masibone ukuthi coach is wrong, yabona. You know, there was a stage when we had leaders like Abo Bensine Timini, you know, and they would catch his in this fananales would know the coach ayikho right le. Favor amanye player were favor about creating division within the team, you know. Strategy sakhe zokuwina ama games where he puts other players under the bus, yabona. So leaders like that would question that, and then we'll find a plan ukuthi sichitha kanjani.
Okay, njengoba ngumuntu othanda lapha ama happy endings, njengoba usho yes, Stoichkov yena walokhuza, so owine enganiphilisi ikahle. Out of all the coaches, your Wits University, Mamelodi Sundowns, your Thanda Royal Zulu, Township Rollers, kubona bonke nje imuphi coach ongamsingle out usho le coach le I would go to war for yena. I coach obuyi first time more than any other coach. Not that labanye ba bad, but obuyi feel la I'm ready to uyiphula unyawo la just for this coach. And why?
Yeah, obviously when you're a footballer, I'm favor a coach ekufrustanayo, ebelievayo in your talent, yabona, and a coach who tells you and brings the best out of you as a player, you know. but there are coaches that I admired in terms of their coaching style.
Yes, yes.
You know, guys like Ted Dimitro, I believe
yes.
he's somebody who came to South
Oh,
Africa
yes. Oh, yes.
as an international coach and
Yes.
embraced the culture of South
yes,
African
yes,
football,
yes, yes.
which is so important,
Yes,
you know,
yes, yes.
to embrace the culture of what we have. Because
yes,
we can
yes.
never be better than Europeans in what Europeans do. We have to use our flair. Yabona, the likes of our doctor and our shoes,
Yes.
you know, that was the best we had.
Oh, Manqoba Ngwenya. Don't forget to mention Manqoba Ngwenya.
Yeah, you know, so I really admire Ted, you know, and what he did at Sundowns and his team that he coached. You know, you could see what these guys are expressing themselves, and he's playing the type of football that shoeshine and piano is there, you know. So he's somebody I admired big time in terms of how he coaches, you know. But definitely, if I had to mention a coach that I'd say I'd go to war for, was Neil Tovey, you know. Neil Tovey
Yes.
and Gamondi, I achieved the most under them because they really believed in me. Neil Tovey, when everybody was saying that Shakes is lazy, he said, "You are not lazy. There's no such thing. They don't know what they are talking about, you know." He really brought the best out of me, you know. And when a coach shows you that he believes in you, you're going to go out there and you're going to prove him right. So immediately when Antonio, when Angel Kappa
yes.
left, Angel Kappa was not playing me at all. And Angel Kappa was there with Gamondi and Neil Tovey. When Kappa left, immediately Neil Tovey and Gamondi gave me an opportunity. I think I scored in every game until I got injured, which was one of my problems, you know, at Sundowns. The injuries hampered my career a lot. But under Neil Tovey and Gamondi, I scored the most goals that I've ever scored in my football career. You know, in a very short space of time. So I'm talking about ratio in terms of scoring. I think I scored something like 9 goals in 11 games, something like that, you know. So that was my best run under Neil Tovey and Gamondi. And yeah, I'd say Neil Tovey. That's why he also brought me to come to Tanda Zulu Royal.
Oh, that's the reason
He
why
was
you
the
ended
coach,
up.
yes.
Correct,
He was
Tanda
the
Royal.
coach there, and he said, "Come through." And I continued scoring goals also at Tanda.
There you have it, bakwethu. Niyayizwela lapha ke insizwa uManqoba Ngwenya esho ukuthi lapha uma kukhona i-relationship right phakathi komdlali nomqeqeshi, one way or another, umdlali will always find a way to return the favor to i-coach and amreward with excellent to amrewards laphana and give the best performance. Like yena uManqoba esho ukuthi laphana one of the coaches laphana obekholelwa kakhulu kuyena insizwa laphana Mkoko. Neil Tovey yayimfavora kakhulu. Now he never disappointed. He returned the favor and put the best performance forward where Neil Tovey is concerned. 2003, I believe that was one of your, I would say maybe one of your best years. Why do I say that? I believe that's the year you got yourself that Mamelodi Sundowns contract, and I believe you also got the Bafana collab.
Yeah.
And then talking of Bafana collab, just talk to us, how was the reception ego Bafana? Were you a young boy? Did they treat you otherwise? How was the reception and everything, the divisions and everything comes about Chiefs? I'm a player as a Chiefs, I grew up or something. How was the reception go Bafana when 2003 when you got that Bafana collab?
No. I didn't experience any issues in the national team. You know, when we got together with the guys, it was always jolly, begumnandi. Yabona nje ukuba namachita, you know, get different experiences from guys ababuya Kaizer Chiefs and other teams. You know, so that was a great breakthrough. To get that national team call up. You know, I remember we played against Zimbabwe and Peter Ndlovu was in that team.
Yo, Pitso Ndlovu.
And Peter Ndlovu was in the team in Zimbabwe. Sashisa kakhulu
Esashiyo, ngiyamkhumbula
agijima. Sheffield,
England,
in England, you know. So it was a great experience for me. I remember we were playing in East London, and I came on as a substitute, you know, and it was just a great experience representing my country, you know, and it gave me great confidence.
Who was the Bafana coach at the time and the captain?
Who was the Bafana coach? Yes, I'm trying to think.
Because coach international break.
Coach at the time.
Which year was it?
So another person who gave me a national team cap was Stuart Baxter. But you see, I don't think it was 2003. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't think it was 2003. That one was a second call-up. Yeah, but that breakthrough, it was the Kosafa Cup foot.
Yes.
Who was the coach then? Ooh, I'd be lying.
Okay, asikho lapha siqhubeke. Lapha sike sathinta lapha ipoint ukuthi in 2003 Patrice Motsepe acquired 15% shareholding in Mamelodi Sundowns, of which I believe in 2004 he went on to acquire 100% ownership in Mamelodi Sundowns. One of the words that Patrice Motsepe uttered after he took over the full ownership in Mamelodi Sundowns, he said he wanted Mamelodi Sundowns to conquer Africa. Those were his words, that he wanted Mamelodi Sundowns to conquer Africa. That was way back in 2004. Fast forward to 2025, that makes it how many? 21 years. Going back to that dream or those utterances got Dr. Patrice Motsepe versus now, how far off is Mamelodi Sundowns from that dream, that vision, Patrice Motsepe, of conquering Africa? Or how far off or how close is Mamelodi Sundowns to that vision, Patrice Motsepe, going back to 2004 when he took over?
Hey, I'd like to throw one back at you. if we had won last week, would you be asking me that same question?
Yeah, no, I was going to ask you that because it was going to be your job to tell me, yes, Patrice Motsepe is there, Sundowns is there or not. I've not uttered it. I'm just asking an honest question. It's 2025, Motsepe 2004 made those utterances. So my question is, how far off or how close is Mamelodi Sundowns to that vision, Patrice Motsepe, going back to 2004?
Yeah, no, those are one of the words I remember more than anything, you know, when Patrice took over and I was signed at Sundowns.
Yes.
That was the vision, to be the best in Africa.
Yes.
And we pushed on. And when Pitso came in, the dream now started being alive. He put that star on the jersey, and the boys won the Champions League, and it was a great day, you know. And we always seeing Sundowns, you know, adding to the quality of players. Even though some teams they complain and saying Sundowns is killing the market, or they're taking all the best players, you know, forgetting that the dream is to be the best team in Africa, not to be the best team in South Africa.
Absolutely.
And Al Ahly are the best team in Africa
currently,
because they have won the Champions League, I don't know how many times in a row.
So
that is what Sundowns is looking to do, you know, it's looking to topple the likes of your Al Ahly. So you can rest assured that the signings will not stop. We will keep signing until we are the best in Africa. You know, and I think to answer your question, that dream is still ongoing. We are en route, but I can tell you now that when teams from Europe they look to Africa, Sundowns is one of the names now that they know has the quality. which was not the case before, which is what Patrice wanted. The chairman always wanted to make sure that the players, when they go to Europe, number one, they are bought with the right price.
Yes.
You don't just go to Europe because a player wants to go to Europe and these guys, but I will take him for a imali encane because vele ifuna ukuza Europe. So now I think European leagues, they respect Sundowns, and they know that Sundowns can even get players from Europe to come to Sundowns. So if you want a player from Sundowns, you're gonna pay the right price.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yes.
You're not gonna just take the player.
Oh, yes.
So I think even with the league itself, he's changed a lot of things. Other teams are also paying the right price now for the players.
Because of the competition.
Football is a profession, and you need to live off it as a football player. And now players are really getting paid well, and I think that had a lot to do with Sundowns changing the market, So I believe the dream is ongoing. Yes, we lapsed last week, it would have been great to talk now and say the dream is definitely alive. We've got the second sound, the jersey, but unfortunately it wasn't to be.
So, in another way, but Sbo, for me, I think prophecy ka Patrice Motsepe.
Yes,
it's alive and it's been happening because it's standard. Sundowns has pushed our football. Bega managing squad, we can compete.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah. Yes.
But with that said, Shego, I believe the coach has an impact to whatever results that happened last week. The coach Sundowns.
Before you come in, I'd like to add on what you have just said. I just want to put some more meat on that thing, but it's going to be a question that we'll need to answer from you, Manqoba. I just want to add. Fine, Mamelodi Sundowns, they played the first leg. They threw away the league on the last seconds to go. Yes, that's football. It happened. That's 1-1. That's how the thing ended. That's how things ended. Goal of Tars. It's game over. You're going to Cairo. The score is 1-1, but with away goal rule, it was a given. With Mamelodi Sundowns, basically they are losing the match. They started the match on the back foot, the second leg. Yeah. So what does that mean? I'm thinking, as layman person, that means attack from the first whistle. No starting the game, no what. That's my thinking. Actually, it was like Sundowns, they're trailing the game 1-0. That's what it meant in the next 90 minutes. And in that 90 minutes, there's no need to reserve any energy. Why? Because there was going to be no extra time. That was known. So there's no extra time. You don't have to reserve any of your star players. I want to read the game. You are Sundowns. You are already starting the game on the back foot. Now, benching your Tembazwane, benching your talisman, Peter Shalulule. Talk to us about the way Sundowns approached that game. Was it the right approach or not a right approach, and why?
Yeah, for me, I think we got it wrong, from even the first leg. I think even from the first leg, tactically we got it wrong. Leading 1-0, Pyramids was coming at us. They didn't come. Normally the North Africans, when they come play us at home, they'll park the bus and then they'll want to beat us away from home.
Yes.
But Pyramid, surprisingly, even against Pirates, they didn't sit back here in South Africa. Yeah. They came here to win the game, And fortunately, we got a goal during the first leg. But I felt after that goal, we have a full house of Sundowns. Full house, Loftus, my brother. We've just scored a goal. We are a bit under pressure because these guys are coming at us. I felt we needed somebody who's going to put their foot on the ball and give us control of the game. And who either than that to do that business than Mshishi.
Thembazwana was himself, yes.
Because
the choir conductor.
Lebza.
Sure.
Because Mshishi, besides the fact that he might not be match fit,
Yes.
his presence in the game means a lot for the Sundowns faithful, you know. When he comes on the field, the crowd already scorile one, we are up. Maga warm up Mshishi, crowd is opagama nayo.
And psychologically, the opponent.
Psychological,
yes.
you know, football is a psychological fact.
Yes,
Football is a psychological fact, my brother. Nakanjani bebazodideka labantu laba ngabe kungena Mshishi lapha walibamba wathi ibhola, you know. So I believe already in the first round, first game, we got it wrong, and you would have thought the coach will change things up. Coming to Cairo, you know, and have Thembazwane and have Shalulile, you know, people who have the experience to play in that competition. Because, you know, experience, you can't buy experience. Thembazwane has won this Champions League. Thembazwane, he's one of our best players in the country, even in the national, even in Bafana. He comes in and he makes a difference. So it's not just any player, my brother.
Exactly.
So it's very disappointing to lose without him even touching the ball, without him having a say. That was painful.
Yeah, no, it makes sense because whatever Ushego Kulmai. There's this post in Hugo Bruce Umshishi. This guy, I don't coach him. I just tell him play football.
Exactly.
So why Huamba naye all these miles away for him?
At which stage, if you bring Mshishi into the team, at which stage do you decide to play him? When we are winning? When we are losing, which stage? Like
because basically Sundowns they lost that match before it even started.
Exactly.
They were, like we said, they started the match on the back foot. So it was more like a 1-0 trailing Sundowns. So you have to make things happen from the first whistle. From the first whistle.
Exactly. Because that money and he plays football in a different way. That money, you is predict.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
With all said and done, Champions League is gone. Nedbank Cup is gone under, I'm talking about Miguel Cardoso. I'm talking about the trophy. I'm not going to talk about MTN 80. I think Nedbank Cup right under his nose. Champions League right under his nose. Culling knockout, he was not yet there. That was Manqoba. Manqoba that lost it to Magisi. So now, if we were to look at what Miguel Cardoso has achieved with Mamelodi Sundowns, that question that I'm going to ask you might be a little bit unfair, but I'm just enjoying it. I'm just happy. I'm in that position. I'm not in your shoes. Looking at what Miguel Cardoso has achieved, Mamelodi Sundowns, come end of the season, they've only got a Betway Premiership to show for it. That's the same position Mamelodi Sundowns they were at last season. Ngorulani Mokoena, I believe the reason that was communicated with Rulani Mokoena was released was that he was expected to win the league and at least one cup plus the Champions League, of which he didn't win, of which we were told that's why he was released. Miguel Cardoso is the same position that Rulani Mokoena was at looking at the end of last season. Now, comparing like for like, what should happen to Miguel Cardoso? Should he stay? Should he go, and why?
Yeah, you know what? That question, it unfortunately is not up to me to make that call, you know. But as you have said,
you are the Mamelodi Sundowns legend.
Yeah.
So from you as you are wearing a Mamelodi Sundowns legend cap right now.
Yeah, no. As you have said, you know, this league title we've won it past 8 years already in a row. It's nothing special.
Yes.
It's something every coach who comes from Sundowns. In fact, I believe if I
Yes.
can be the coach of Sundowns, I'll also
You'll win the league now. Exactly.
So he was brought in to win this CAF Champions League.
Absolutely.
And he has failed to do so. But at the end of the day, it's up to the management to decide, you know. And I know they are very decisive at Sundowns, you know, in terms of decision making. And yeah, the right people will make the call, you know. But as you said, a very impressive Rulani coached Sundowns. Very impressive for me, the way Sundowns was playing, you know.
Yes.
But unfortunately, he didn't win the Champions League, and he was out, you know. So
Mshego mara yazi with what kulento uyikhulumayo manje Sbo Sundowns who has lost identity. I don't
Yeah, you see.
angiboni the way udlala ibhola ngakhona ndoda
Yeah.
angazi Mshego
No, you see, that's also another thing, you know, that's becoming now disappointing, because we know Sundowns it's got its identity,
Yes.
you know, which is something that makes it easy for players to come in at Sundowns and just fit like a glove, because there's that culture, that style of play. I think Tico even spoke about it recently, and he was saying that, you know, what makes it easier for players at Sundowns is because they have that style of play, that shushan and piano, you know.
Yeah.
It's not like you're just coming in a team that doesn't have a way they play. So it becomes easy for players to gel in, you know. About Torel babe, but mabangena, bashayinet, kubelula, but then when you see them, they go to Kaiser Chiefs. It's not the same.
The same, but
because
they struggle,
of
yes.
the identity that Sundowns
Exactly.
has. That style of play makes it easy easier for them to gel in, you know. And now we're seeing that changing, you know. We're no longer playing that shushan and piano the way we used to, you know. And you know, maybe the coach is trying other ways of doing things. Maybe he believes that that's the way that's going to help us to achieve being the best team in Africa. I don't know, but I don't like it. The fact that now we're no longer playing that style of play that we used to.
Should Miguel Cardoso go? Let's say he resigns, or the management fires him. Whom would you like to see coach Sundowns? I almost said, whom would you like to see coming back to Mamelodi? Let me rephrase that question. Whom would you like to see? Let's say if he, should Miguel Cardoso go, whom would you like to see at the helm go Mamelodi Sundowns?
I don't have a name for you, but I can tell you that I would like to see somebody who knows the culture of South African football, somebody who knows the culture of Sundowns, you know, and won't want to tamper with this culture, who will come and add to what we have, you know, and not try and change the way we play, because that's what makes Sundowns what it is, you know, the style of play that we have, you know. So somebody definitely who will embrace the style and embrace, you know, our skillful players, our players that we know have the flair and can win us games, you know, experienced players. So somebody who won't temper, and probably that person is somebody from South Africa.
Yeah, because with that said, Shego, I think now you had the challenge go career yako that coaches who are from Europe or wherever, and then he's trying to change your identity kuti udlala ibhola with a certain pace ngendlela ethile. Do you the challenge awukazi wabanayo?
Yeah, definitely I had a challenge like that as well, where the coach didn't understand my style, you know. You know, and that coach ended up making me train alone. Because he had issues with the fans, shakes, you know, as if I go and buy these fans to call my name, you know. So you get coaches like that, you know, who who I don't know whether they think you're, I don't know, I don't know, but I look at him,
Element of jealousy.
I look at him, Shishi, and I'm thinking, maybe because he's a crowd favorite and everybody's calling his name, maybe the coach is saying, I'm the one who's the coach, I'm the boss, and I will. So you get coaches like that, and unfortunately,
and it kills the whole vibe and the identity.
Yeah, time is definitely not on our side, but surely you heard South Africa there, our guest in Manqoba Shakes Ngwenya, should it happen, which Mamelodi Sundowns will let go of their current head coach, he will definitely love to see somebody who will come and augment, supplement, appreciate the South African talent, Mamelodi Sundowns as identity, Mamelodi Sundowns style of play. He will love to see that maintained. Like they always say, why mend it if it's not broken? Now insizwa laphana Manqoba Ngwenya uyasho ukuthi laphana ngakujabulela ukubona iculture istyle esayo laphana abafana ba style Mamelodi Sundowns siqhubeka laphana sibona laphana oShoshana and Piano esake sakhula sibabona nabo Shakes laphana abake bathi ukuthela upende kuyona laphana Mamelodi Sundowns ngenkathi besagijima khona. Njengoba sengishilo, time is not on our side. Before kodwa laphana sivala bengicela ukubuza Manqoba njengamanje awusitshela ukuthi after football, what are you doing? What are you busy with? Uhasila kuphi, ushizila kuphi, uhereza kuphi?
Yeah, you know what, football will always remain with me. We can never get away from football. We love football, I live football. My son is playing at Highlands, like I said
Highlands
earlier
Park,
on,
yes.
at Highlands Park, so as a responsible father, all I want to do is support him all the time,
Returning the favor, your father
yes,
supported you big time.
Exactly,
So you owe your son a lot.
He led by example, so we follow and we support the boys. Not only him, also Wits Ngwenya, who's my nephew, is also doing well. He's at Pirates MTC, we are expecting him to get his breakthrough
very
soon, a very hardworking young man, so we're also giving him the support. Yeah, but also I've acquired my coaching licenses and I do coaching part-time. I'll be involved now with Parktown Boys under 16, which is something I'm looking forward to, from putting the boots away now. Mbambe impempe. Let's see how it is. Mkhambe kashisa lapha. Mkhambe natso begita ebhenjini ngizokwazi.
Intwana ngatifana nami.
But yeah, when you've experienced what I've experienced, you want to make sure that the talented boys, you give them that opportunity, that chance, and give them that confidence to get the best out of them, rather than to say, So yeah, I'm looking forward to coaching, at that level, and just to see a boy improve, from maybe the passing, and now he can pass better, now he can control the ball better. I think it's something that's a blessing when you see improvement in something that you are doing. So that's one thing I'm looking forward to, coaching these boys. And also I have a foundation, Manqoba Ngwenya Foundation,
yes,
which also deals with developing kids, not only to be professional footballers, but just to be active in sports and to be responsible citizens of the country. We've got a lot of problems in the society, gender-based violence and what so on. So the foundation wants to deal with things like that to make these young boys become men and responsible men of society. So the foundation is something that is very precious to me, which I'm pushing a lot and trying to make sure that these boys become men.
So it makes sense. So now, actually, with the foundation, it said now you actually looking for that financial muscle in terms of sponsors to broaden this and make it big, so that it can befit everybody, or those who are under you, so that they move in the direction that you want to see them move into, despite being a footballer or a certain putting it a cricketer or what, but being a difference in South Africa.
definitely, that's the case. GBV, drug addiction. There's so much, and there's there's so much stigma to things like drugs, and we've all went through things, and you just need support when you're going through things like that. You don't need everybody judging you. You need support. So programs like that are very important to me because. When somebody is on drugs, that means they're trying to run away from reality. They feel like this thing is their friend now. They feel like they're in a dark hole. So it's something that you can come out of, given the support, So we're looking to do things like that. And yes, funding is very important, in order to get started with programs like that. So we're looking for any type of funding, any type of partnership we can do with companies, in making sure that we change our society into a better one.
Talking of funding and partnership, how does one get hold of you if there's a good Samaritan out there who love to lend that helping hand? How does one get hold of you? Go social media or WhatsApp numbers?
Yeah, so Manqoba Ngwenya on Facebook. You'll find me there. On X, I'm also there. On Twitter, also on TikTok.
Okay.
Also in Instagram.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you have it, South Africa. You are that a good Samaritan who would love to get in touch with Insizwa Laphana Manqoba Ngwenya for the good cause. Njengoba sebalile laphana is ama-pandemic esinawo la eNingizimu Afrika laphana GBV, substance abuse, ama-drugs. Uma ufuna ukumthinta ukhona laphana ku-TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, ko-X, uManqoba Ngwenya.
Yeah, also the Manqoba Ngwenya Foundation, also we've got a website here corner.
Yes.
It's manqobangwenyafoundation.org. Yeah, where you can look up the type of programs that we do, and yeah.
Oh yes, ungakhohlwa-ke bakhona laphana kwi-internet manqobangwenya.org yona laphana i-website yayo i-foundation insizwa leyo Manqoba Shakes Ngwenya athi abambe iqhaza kuyona. Unfortunately, like they always say, time flies when you are having fun, and that's exactly what we're having, but unfortunately time is not on our side. Thank you very much, Mtimande.
Sibonge kakhulu bafowethu. It was good to be here and just to share, the people abeba supporter, and who want to know where we are, with life, Hayi sisaphila sisazama saya phambili.
Hayi ngakubona usefresh nasebusweni. Yeah. Sibonge kakhulu. Lebza.
Sho angijabule kakhulu badi. Jabule kakhulu kukhona ukusupporta nathi ukuthi ufike lapha eshowini yethu, so that the people outside there can see ukuthi there's more to life than football. And life doesn't end with whatever you've been doing and then it ends there and then you're done. It's never over until the fat lady sings, which is a grave.
Yeah.
So, but I'm very happy, Shego, and then you still sojourning on.
Yeah.
And then we'll take things further. We're trying to improve impilo of everybody, because I think with everything umuntu ngabantu.
Exactly.
That's the main thing. Yeah.
Exactly, Lebs. No, thank you so much, my brother. Like you say, in life we're not perfect. We all make our mistakes, and maybe by me talking here today, I can encourage maybe other kids,
Yes.
Maybe to also banga happy, like where I made mistakes in life, banga ndluli khona, like I said, I'm doing coaching now, and those things that I used to do maybe as a player, and try and give them back, first hand, ukuthi yazi 1 2 3 ngangiyenza yangikhawatha ngani so ungandluli into efana naleyo. So it's always good to give back what you had.
Yeah, no.
Oh yes, that's how we come to an end on today's show. That is a sports gig with Sbonelo Ngcobo and Lebo Ditlhake. And don't forget that today's show was proudly brought to you by Ditlhake Construction and Plant Hire. So as Ditlhake Cash Loans. Uma go blind, you know exactly what to do. Get in touch with Ditlhake Cash Loans. Backside Obe Mnandi. You can always get in touch with them on 073-956-8647. Leo number again, 073-956-8647. Kan mafuna ukushaya ucingo lapha ile line 010-017 1905. Ditlhake Cash Loans bakhona Ditlhake Construction and Plant Hire. Uma unabo CIDB unamantontonton ufuna ukuthi lapha udinga ama TLB excavators, ama truck, water tankers, water can, anything and everything that's got to do with the construction. Ditlhake Construction and Plant Hire, they are your partners in the business. Till then, it is bye bye from me, Sbonelo Ngcobo, and
Lebo Ditlhake.
till then, bye bye.